The name is Venomous, and I'm going to be doing a Let's Play of a game called Colour a Dinosaur. I got the idea to do this from Flower Asato on Twitter, well, no, I got the idea to stream this from Flower Asato on Twitter, but I got the wonderful idea to do a comprehensive Let's Play of this wonderful classic from Spooky Potato on Twitter. I'm going to link both of those in the description, probably. And because this is a wonderful masterpiece that must be shared with the world, I do agree, and I'm glad I did get the idea to do this, to play this wonderful game. And in spite of its poor establishment message, I do feel that it has a lot to offer the world, and it deserves a renewed sort of look on it for its merits. Now, see here we have 16 dinosaurs of varying statures and cutiness, and as you see, this pterodactyl is the cutest of them all. I mean, and I know the Stegosaurus really wanted to take its sort of place as top of the cutie list, but no, pterodactyl really just fucking kills it here, and as we know, the white dragon here is the second. So, but for purposes of this Let's Play, we're going to go with this guy. Yeah. And as you can see, the music by Mr. Tommy Tallarico is second to none. So this is Colour a Dinosaur. It's a game where you colour a dinosaur, and now, of course, this was made in 1993 and published by Virgin Interactive. This is all part of the game, by the way. The cursor, don't you know? It's to warm up the cursor so it can colour the dinosaur to its fullest potential. And as we see now, this game was the basis of the entire red-blue divide that we saw in the 2000 election. Now, as you know, the program directors at CNN were incredibly influenced by this game, and before the 2000 election, you didn't colour the Republican Party and the Democrat Party with blue and red, but this game really changed it, and as you can see right here. Now, you see that blue? That is what would become the staunchly democratic blue, and it is being traced over by the a capitalist classical liberal red, as in if to say that the Republican Party will always triumph over the terrible liberalism of the Democrats, and this is what CNN just saw in, or whoever else, probably some other American folks in 2000, and decided to emulate. And as it happens, J.O. Warnock is a devoted Republican, and as you can see, this could very much be the most influential game of all time. Now, and as you can see, any sort of methods of subversive sort of ness are just utterly eradicated by the staunchness of the of American conservatism, the unwavering dedication to classical Reaganite values, as it were. And forget that Richard Nixon, he was such a poor man. You ever hear that Hunter S. Thompson? Of course, I mean, Hunter S. Thompson was clearly a stooge of the Republican Party. And as you can see, but the Democrats, and I know that red is meant to be the colour of those commies, but clearly J.O. Warnock was looking ahead of the time, and was at how the Republican Party would actually embrace the colour red for their for the campaigning, and how this is a prediction of how George W. Bush would come to win the 2000 general election. And as you can see, this is our dinosaur here is coloured red because that is the only colour that you're able to provide, and never mind any of these other colours. This is the true colour to anyone who would ask you about this game. And we have to just fight off this last wave of communists, and they're coming back. And we finally, with a very slightly subversive switch there, and nearly missed. Boom, there we are, and we have our first wonderful Republican dinosaur. And as you can see, J. Obernock became the mayor of his town in where is it again? Oregon or something? Fuck knows, I didn't live in America. Of his place in 2010, and this is clearly a sort of invocation of his merits. And as you can see, this is not the true red. This is the wrong red. And as you can see, worse than those filthy commie Democrats, we are being invaded by some filthy Russians. And this, of course, this was made after the fall of the Soviet Union, but you know, this has been true to the merits of the Republican Party, as it were, and it's as we know, the wrong shade of red can lead to disaster, and it can lead to the wrong dinosaur, and your dinosaur can just fall extinct. You can fall into a meteor and perish, because that's what the dinosaurs did. So, and of course, while this was made during the Clinton administration, this is clearly the greatest tribute to the legacy of Ronald Reagan as there would ever be. And clearly, I mean, indeed, it's just as valid an analysis to say that the blue here and the blue outline that you see right here is just as valid a tribute to Margaret Thatcher and the Conservative Party, except that Obernock never actually programmed the right shade of blue in there, as he was too worried that the commies would take that for their own and colour those dinosaurs with subversive colourings. And as you can see, it is very much a threat to J. Obernock and what have you. And so Ohio is a good state. I knew someone from Ohio last year. He was not a Republican. He was not much of a socialist either, so that's not much of a good thing in my sort of left-wing, probably sort of socialist views. But either way, 1 second. So yes, we're fulfilling the legacy of Ronald Reagan, and nearly just getting rid of all the subversiveness. And the subversives are coming back, but clearly they cannot stand the might of boom. the almighty Republican Revolution. As you can see, this anticipated the Revolution of '94 by a year. It knew that the Republicans would strike back, as they always strike back, as the Republican Party is king and will always fight for you, or so, pardon me, they say. And we are just but we were nearly unsuccessful in our quest to rid the world of the communist menace, but we are very much on our way now, and here's a sec. What the fuck am I doing?